Hello friends and welcome back to another replay analysis. Our 8 replays going through each rank. We're back on the support. Treant, this is Crusader now. Looks like you are position 5, I think. Let's see. Treant Luna lane, it looks like, versus Centaur Veno, maybe. So I think you should be okay. Your long-term plan should be get Luna what she needs to like farm pretty fast. Okay. If you've watched the previous 2 videos, you know what I'm about to say, which is that it is not worth throwing your laning stage for a bounty rune in many cases. So this time, I'd like to point out, now that we're getting higher up there, actually this is a full party game, so not totally a complete representation of Crusader, but your team making an aggressive play. I like that. You have good heroes for this. You have Clockwork and Pudge and like Luna's like, okay, she's not the best, but Treant's pretty decent too. So I like this play. I like the initiative. Enemy team should respect a Pudge Clockwork, First Blood potential, and a Viper. There's no reason Viper shouldn't be with you, or couldn't be with you. It's fine that Viper's here, though he may want to be careful too, but they don't know that, right? Viper could be with you, and that would be scary. They have their own decent First Blood potential, so I would also be careful of that. But fortune favors the bold, right? So let's get in here. And then when you guys find, like, just blindly walk in here, even though he doesn't see anyone, like, I don't know, you know, it's not great, guys. Same with your Viper. Blindly walks up here, even though you guys hadn't seen that many people. Although now you see more people, right? Venomancer, nice, stealing the rune. Okay, anyways, I know it's about you. And I kind of forgot my original point anyways. Oh yeah, get Luna what she needs. Do some stacks for her. You kind of want her to be ahead of the CK because CK can kind of delete her, but you are there to protect her as well. So like, it would be ideal for her to be ahead. And she's a faster jungle farmer and stack clearer. So like, get her what she needs. You already have this like defensive items. So I know you can like keep healing her from afar while you do stacks. Then when she goes to do stacks, you defend this. That's what I'm envisioning for you. This, actually, I don't know if I need to talk about it. Luna should just Lucent Beam this. I don't know what she's walking up. This is just what Centaur should do. Okay, yeah. I was about to say, I haven't felt you do too much yet. I think you need to hit those creeps. Part of that is because you, like, cast Q this way, and then you just, like, walked away. At the very start, Venomancer's here. You could beat the shit out of a Venomancer if you let him get a little closer, Q, and then just chase him a bit. Because you'll crush him. But you just kind of, like, Q'd in front of his face and then backed off. Came here, and then you had no slow to, like, harass a Centaur. That's why your lanes felt awkward. Then you're, like, playing here, and then Venomancer's hitting you. So, like, you can either switch over here, or, like, stand in the middle of the lane and just punch your own creeps. You have the highest base damage in the game, you know? Kind of see the lane was shoving. You might want to be in position for the small pull a little ahead of time. Looks like Venomancer just blocked your camp. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You're just like throwing this out, and then he actually came back to you for you to punch him in the face, which is very kind of him. But like, if he hadn't done that, you just spent 75 mana to do like 10 damage because it's, you know, DPS. So it's not even like a lich where you throw out your spell and you get the full value. You got like 10 damage for 75 mana. It's not very good. Plus it's 20-second cooldown, you know, so now they can run down this Luna if they so chose, and you can't even help her. So unless you're gonna punch him in the face once or twice, they're like, you know, what's the slow for? And that's really what this is. Nature's Grasp is a slow for you to punch them in the face. The damage at the start of the game is not that relevant, except for the fact that they cannot continue to stand in there. And so they will not punch you as they run away. That is how you win the trade so much. They try to get out of the slow, you punch them with 90 base damage, and then you've successfully done like 100 to 200 damage and they haven't touched you. Or if they stand and fight, then the slow starts to, or it's not the slow, the DPS then starts to build up, because like every time they stand to auto attack you, they take 30 magic damage, which is like half an auto attack. Actually, for you, it's a third. For most heroes, that's half an auto attack, right? So that's like That is the power of nature's grasp, and like if you just throw it out to like poke people, it's actually so bad. Like it like does nothing. It's so little damage. This is good. Look at that. He couldn't even touch you. You slowed him and you punched him twice. This was excellent. This is ideal. Cut out those other ones. Those other ones are no good. Part of getting Luna what she needs is that you can do half pulls and stacks, and then depending on how the lane goes, you might want like faster boots because then it makes it easy to go over here and stack. And sometimes it doesn't work out like that, and that's fine. I think you bought Regen though. Yeah, this Ring of Regen. You don't need this at all. Look at you. You're like so healthy still. You have a Tango. You have a Salve. You got this Mango. You got heals. You don't need a Ring of Regen. If anything, you could buy like another Tango to share. And one for yourself. But like as you hit level 2, 3, like you have heals. You just need mana, and you have mana because you got this Ring of Basilius. So I don't think you really need this Ring of Regen. I think you're thinking about it for Venomancer, but counterpoint, just don't get hit by Venomancer. And that sounds like dumb, but like literally, as we get to this point, and if we're just doing like half pulls and avoiding Venomancer, or if Venomancer's over here messing with us, then we can go up and punch him in the face like we did earlier. Like, you don't need regen. You only want to take like very direct trades with Venomancer. You only need more regen if he constantly harasses you down and you're not doing the same. But a Venomancer in a direct fight is weak. Venomancer needs like the very long, slow poke. All right, let's choose our fights. Let's recognize that Venomancer slow is powerful, even though I just shit talking him. And then Centaur is also a pretty decent offlaner. What is Venomancer doing right now that you need to stop? There's a hard camp that hasn't spawned because you blocked it. The lane is about to shove in, so Luna doesn't really need to do much. Actually, it's going to meet here, which is not as shoved in as I was thinking. I didn't realize these were right here. But there are 5 creeps, so nothing that crazy needs to happen right now. And if Venomancer walks in further, then that'll be an easier time to harass him because you will also be closer to the safety of your tower. But you are meeting him out here where he is currently doing nothing. Then you're putting yourself out of position, out of the trees. You're a hero who, as soon as you step out of the trees, are very, very, very much at risk of dying, especially against damage over time, which prevents you from getting back in the trees, which is all Venomancer has. You're also weak to slows, which is also the other thing that Venomancer only has, which is not how the word only works. But you were very healthy. He was not. He has to be very careful of walking up because this is very dangerous for him. But this area is relatively open of trees. So this is a pretty bad like position to fight in. And because of that, you're actually going to straight up die. You were full health, and he hasn't lost that much health, right? He would, if you just didn't do any of that, he would still be sitting at like 50% health. He would still be scared of walking up because if then you went around him and fought, you would probably kill him. Which, by the way, I'm open to you doing Leech Seed this game if you guys are like playing the lane a little bit more, because Leech Seed will actually heal through. But I'm fine with the build you have, because I'd probably do something like this, you know. Bassi is enough. At this point, I think you should just be like doing whatever small pulls you can and stacking, and then just like heal Luna from afar. It's not perfect because Centaur has high base damage, but you're still only in Crusader, so like it won't be perfect, and Luna will like get what she needs. Especially like, let's say she didn't. You're like she's getting solo XP because you're not here. You're doing pulls, and they're just coming under tower. And Centaur at this rank, people are not good about chasing under tower for denies. It's scary, you know? And so, like, you do half pulls, full pulls, all that stuff. Or, sorry, half pulls, stacks, stuff like that. Once you hit, like, level 2 and into level 3, this is, like, everything you need for now. You do these as much as you can to get her the solo XP. You do this stuff, stacking when you can. That's what the boots would be good for. The Bassi was okay. I think the Sage's Mask going into overkill. You already have like enough mana regen where living armor is essentially free. It actually is free right now, which without the Sage's Mask, it would be like on that borderline. So like the spell's free, and all you need to do is like careful Nature's Grasp use, which is not even that careful. It's like you can still kind of use it fairly freely. So this is getting like overkill. This is more probably required if you had Leech Seed, which is a more expensive, more spammable spell in the laning stage. Okay, I think this is our first pull that we've done. I'd have liked to see like a lot more. That's how you get Luna the solo XP. Get her what she needs. Go a little faster, otherwise we're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, you're kind of like playing with the Luna a lot, but you notice the lane is starting to suck, right? Because Centaur is a very high base damage hero, and Venomancer is like a very slowly annoying whittling hero. I can kind of tell you that's how this lane was going to go, which maybe I should have done at the start, but I kind of implied it when I was saying like we need to get Luna what she needs to jungle, and we need to get her stacks. Because like ultimately this lane's not going to be great. He has almost 90 base damage on Centaur, and it actually has relatively high base damage. But she's a ranged hero, so it's always going to be easier for Centaur to deny. He has better base regen. Not really base, he like bought items for it, right? But like in the one-on-one, Centaur will come out ahead. And like you versus Venomancer, it's actually very difficult to out-heal a Venomancer who's like harassing correctly. But if you're in the trees, they can't really harass you, and you can just use Q to defend this. But Luna will struggle. That's why Luna needs to be able to go farm. Now she's like level 4, but she could be like, if you just did any extra pulling and gave her more solo XP, she would be 5 for sure. But also if you like did more pulling and kept away from her, you'd be still maybe level 3, but she would be approaching level 6, which after a camp or two would then be another point in Moonglaves or Lunar Blessing, which would then help her farm up. She should really just go home. There's like she can't jungle with that much health. You used a smoke to get out here. This feels a little wasteful. I think you could just walk or TP out here. You'll notice you back to Ringer Regen, right? You don't need it. Luna's coming back here. At this point, this lane's already kind of in a bad spot. Though Centaur dies, you're now kind of recovered. Awesome. All right. Good on you guys for killing Centaur. I didn't think that would happen. You want Luna out of here. Go stack. I think you could have stacked at the 8-minute mark after you killed that Centaur. This is like what I'm... Okay, so let's go back. This is very important for you. There's a video titled Walk Left for MMR, something like that. Right now, even if you have no idea what you should do, the summary of that video is that you should start moving this direction. Because everything you could possibly do as a Treant protector, as a support, at this particular instance is in this direction. And as you walk this way, you will look at the timing, and you will look at the minimap, and you will decide what you need to do. So if you started doing that right now, you would look at the minimap, you would look at this lane real quick, and look at all this stuff, and you can determine, you can either, let's say this camp is up, if you want, Luna can shove this out, and you can attempt a connected pull this way for Luna, and or, you might have time for both of these, you walk over here to stack. Or you forget this hard pull idea, and because it's blocked, we skip it. You come over here, and you attempt to stack here. Either one of these. Maybe this hard camp because it's worth more. And I don't think they'll steal it too easily. This is how you add extra value. But now you're just kind of like sitting here with this Luna, even though she's safe because Centaur was dead. He can only return to the lane now because he was dead, right? He just respawned. So you could have stacked for free, added, you know, the 100 plus gold for your team. Gave Luna the solo XP so she can jungle faster, get out of here. Oh, thanks, Pudge. Aw, rip. I was about to tell you to walk to the left. All right, Luna wants to stop being here. Let's, So this is not great, but Luna should actually be higher up, too. You know? It's because she was 1v1ing the Centaur too often, and he's like better auto attack and base damage. That's why you need to do these pulls to get the lane under the tower to her, where you hope your Luna can last it under tower, but she's supposed to be able to in theory, and that's where Centaur is less likely to contest. It's scarier for him to contest, all of that. She then transitions to the jungle a little faster. Sorry, we gotta look at you. Let's see what you did. So you were dead. Looks like you're looking around. Maybe coordinating with your team. Nice. I don't think Luna wants to be down there anymore, so I think you should go down there. But not just to like keep tri-laning, which actually another Centaur kill is pretty nice. But she should still get out of here. Notice every time she's alone, she's not farming well. That's not gonna change. You keep having to bring multiple heroes down here, and what's happening in the meantime? CK's free farming. So it should be swapped. Luna should leave. You defend this, because you farming poorly against a Centaur is actually you farming well. Then you have two heroes up here, slowing down the CK, because Clockwork and Viper can be up here, and then Pudge, instead of having to keep roaming down here, can roam top and slow down the CK. Luna's a very fast jungle farmer. What's the net worth? 4K? I can hit 4K on Luna jungling the whole time. Like, not even walking into the lane. If you start in the lane and transition to the jungle, it should be faster than that. So Luna's farm should be better. Frankly, she got 2 kills that are kind of iffy. She actually got multiple kills to help her recover. If any of these kills did not happen, she would be below 4K. She would be below simply jungling the entire time. So if you miss like any of these kills, if she dies, then she's way down. She's like 3K. She should. I don't think Centaur should have died twice. You know, I think it was a bit of a misplay on his part. So even though it's kind of working out net worth this game because of the kills, there's no guarantee those kills happen. But going into the jungle and ditching this bad lane, that was guaranteed. I know we're kind of talking about Luna more than you, but like you need to identify this because you're a Treant protector. And Treant needs to know if he can get his carry out of this lane so that he can take this lane, or if the carry will be fine in this lane and he should go play aggressive. And because you're in a party game, it's important for you to be able to identify that, tell your team that. That way you can all have a good game. Treant is not that fast. Look at you. You're like, oh, I have to be in the top lane. Look how sad it is. By the time you get there, it's dead. Or you have to TP or someone else's TP. This is why it's important for Treant to identify, like, this is where I want to be, and I need to be there ahead of time. Trees are slow, so we must know and be there. We can't react. We can't see them pushing top and go, I need to be there. I make this mistake on stream quite a lot where I'll say, like, I should already be down here. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you need to know where you want to be as a Treant protector, and then set up the situation for what needs to happen for that, right? So if I want to be in the bottom lane, Luna needs to be able to be somewhere else. Being somewhere else either means being up here, because this tower is dead and she's free to farm up here, or jungle. She doesn't really go mid, because most, you know, mids are in the mid. So, like, the carries usually have those 2 options, either jungle here, or up here. I guess 3 options. So one of those has to be set up. Either you doing stacks, even if you don't do stacks, they can go to the jungle. They just need the levels and the items, which in this case, we're talking about the levels for Luna to have glaives and all that. Or you get her a decent start. You quickly run top. She has a slightly worse time because you've left her, but you use your presence to take top. She comes up here and she accelerates. So, like, that's kind of your 3 options as Treant. And the quick 3 options. Maybe I can think of more if we're here a little longer, but like, you see how, like, your active Pudge is now down here? And CK's just, like, free farming? Now, if Pudge dies here, it's sad, right? If you died here, would it be all that sad? Gosh, you guys are kicking... damn, it was almost sick. Pudge died, though. You guys didn't quite get these kills. Who's free farming? The CK. Oh, he's even getting kills. CK very happy right now. So if you're down here, you don't die, and you stop those 3 heroes on your own. Very valuable for Treant. And then Pudge is free to, like, slow down the CK like he just did. And your tower is still alive right now because of all that. So, like, in another world, Luna's ahead of CK right now. If you switch up some of the stuff we talked about. Luna's probably, like, 1k up. If CK has died once or twice and Luna was just like jungling. And you are defending bottom, so your net worth is up. And Centaur's net worth would be the same. Because what was Centaur doing? He's farming this lane and he's farming that camp. That didn't change whether it was Luna or you down here. So, like, it's not like, oh, we're giving Centaur too good of a game. You're not. Treant holds this tower. Actually, against Centaur, it's a little hard because Centaur has returned. But, like, it's doable. It's possible, I swear. And so their farm is pretty much the same, except that CK would be slowed down because instead of coming down here, they're going up there. Now, actually, you guys could kill Centaur once or twice. So, like, sure, Centaur's farm is a little worse than it should have been if you don't do that. But, like, CK's farm would be down, and that would be better. You know, you pick one. Do we stop CK's farm, or do we stop Centaur's farm? I think in hindsight, it should clearly be the CK. And this game's kind of falling apart now, actually. They're diving a little, actually, maybe. Maybe it's not falling apart. Oh, the game's still quite long. But I think this current state, this all lost tier 1s, and you only have this one, this is avoidable with some of the stuff we talked about. And then it would be a very different game from here. Not that it's a lost game, because clearly there's still quite a lot of game left to be played here. Oh man, my hair's a mess. Why didn't anyone tell me? But this is kind of where I would stop my own replays, but I feel bad when doing these replay analyses, because I know things won't always go optimally, but like, you don't want to be in this situation if possible. And like, it was possible. So like, that is the key thing to take away. We'll go a little further with this game to see like how you can, I wouldn't even say come back. You're only 2k behind at this point. Like how you can win from here. But I think at this state, you should already be in a better spot. So I just want to highlight that. And now we'll go a little further. Nice deny. Anytime your ult is up, you can play with your team. And when it's down, I would say you split push and free up space for your team. I would say top or bottom. Mid's kind of hard for you. This is where you really want your team to still have tier 1s, right? Because you can split push things out and join fights. But now if your team's like pushing this tower, there's no way to join. Whereas when this mid tower's up, you just like TP here, walk in, overgrowth. You're like there. You know, okay, your team's smoking. Hesitant about going bottom. It'd be better to go like up. Okay, there's a bit of a miscommunication here. All right. You don't want to be first without a blink or a force staff because you're slow. Clockwork and Pudge are much better initiators for your team, so let them go in first. If Pudge or Clockwork like misses the hook, then you just disengage. If you walk up and your team decides to disengage, like you probably don't leave because you're dead, because you're very slow and you'll be hit by like slows and stuns and stuff. Whereas if they miss a hook, it's like, okay, everyone retreat. So you don't want to be in the front. This is just unfortunate. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I like this ward. This is good. I like that. Overgrowth right now. Aww. Okay, slightly suboptimal. The reason we want to overgrowth there is because you would hit all these heroes. Like move down a little here and then overgrowth as soon as his ult finishes. You would hit all these heroes. That'd be really nice. I think here you only hit 2. Yeah, CK's free. Treant ult is unique in that it disarms. So all the CK illusions just don't do anything. You probably know that. You're 25 Grandmaster here, I see. Or sorry, just Master tier? I forget what the difference is. The different names are. After your team took that, you guys came top. I'm kind of okay with that, but I'd probably go mid instead. After that bottom fight, push out mid a little more as a team. Well, there'll be another transport, I guess. You might have been able to save him if you leech seed something next to him. All right. I wasn't keeping track myself, but I just like to point out how many times you have walked up and down as Treant. I know you have Tranquil, so you're faster, but like it is typically unideal for Treant to be doing this too much. And I've been there, but it feels bad when I do it. So I know that it feels bad for you. You're even in a team game, so you can have more communication, but have you know, the confidence to say like, I will be here. I'm gonna be down here. This is where I am. I'm gonna push out waves. I'm gonna buy time for my team. I'm gonna heal from afar, and I'm gonna TP and ult when I have it. The more often you like walk back and forth, you're not fast hero, so it's kind of just like a bunch of downtime. Yeah, just use overgrowth. Don't step out of the trees. This is how you die as Treant. In the trees, your free pathing cannot be canceled. Anytime you're doing something dangerous, such as split pushing or defending a tower, don't step out of the trees, because any stray thing that hits you right now will break your passive, and then you die. You're getting a medallion, but I think you probably just want to Vlad's into... Okay, hold on. Let's finish our thought. Vlad's into Wraith Pact sounds pretty good. The damage reduction, very good against CK and Venomancer. Enables your Luna a lot. That's not so great with the rest of your team, but like, I think it's okay. I also think a Blink's pretty okay to control the CK after he ults. Force Staff is kind of similar to that idea, so I'm fine with that too. Medallion's like okay, because I know it'll like buff up your cores a bit, but like your team doesn't need the negative armor of like using it on the enemy and killing him that way, you know? You would probably use this defensively into like a Solar Crest. But like Luna's already got solid armor, so you're only buffing her up with the Solar Crest, and the Solar Crest nerfed compared to where it used to be. So the hot shit now is the Vlad. So like Vlad's versus a Solar Crest. I think Vlad's is good. Because even though a Solar Crest might be a little bit better than a Vlad's, the Vlad's will then build into Wraith Pact, which is a sick-ass item. And Solar Crest won't. So, yeah. Okay, then this fight. Luna, farming. We suspect there are enemy heroes down here. You must, because you're bringing teams down here. If they have a bunch of heroes down here, Luna should be free to push out top and to farm their half of the map. She's getting farmed then. So then, if they have multiple heroes down here, and we're all just posturing, that means none of us are getting much farm. But Luna is getting farm. So then, is it in your favor as a team to fight immediately or fight 1 minute from now? You want to fight 1 minute from now because Luna is just free farming right now. And I just saw CK flash here, which means CK is not free farming right now. Which means the longer we sit here next to our tower and pretend like, oh, am I coming out? Are you coming in? Oh, the longer we do that, the better it is for your team. So when you leave the tower and bait them and bait your own team to start the fight now, that's not good. Because even if you found someone, that's like why you walk out here, right? It's to scout. What are you going to do if you find someone? Is your team going to start the fight? I don't want you to start the fight. I want Luna to have time to push all of this out while they sit here with like 4 heroes splitting one lane and like some creep camps here. None of them are going to efficiently farm, but Luna is. Now I know your team, well, we're not farming efficiently either. You got like a Viper Pudge, who cares? Luna is the one who needs farm and she's farming. CK is the one who needs farm and he's here inefficiently splitting with 3 other heroes. So you are happy with the current state of affairs. This makes it worth it. This is his like, I'm not farming so great unless I get kills. There we go, there's 1. Now you're dead. Now maybe we can push further, get more kills, or just take this tower. But if you are alive, threatening overgrowth under tower, you're throwing out those slows, the heals, the armors, it's very difficult to push in. You're a very important hero to slow this down. So you cannot move out and die like that. You see? Imagine a sick-ass overgrowth here with the Nature's Grasp underneath it doing like, what, 50 damage you have it? Yeah, so 50 damage for 3 seconds. So 150 plus the 225 from this into the, you know, clockwork stuff and the Pudge and the Viper, you know, very scary. The enemy won't do this. They only do this because you are dead. And in the meantime, Luna would be farming. Luna, tell your friend, should still be farming up here. I literally know all 5 are down here. There's no one here. I'll show you the free cab. There is no one on the top half of the map, so Luna should not be retreating. Luna should be pushing up here. Now, if you were up here, let's say you swapped for whatever reason, you should be pushing up here. A lot of people, cores or supports, they get scared, they see the team lose, and they fall back like this. There's literally no threat up here. There's no way anyone at this point in the game dies to a camp. There's 4 bounty routes here. There's no way anyone dies here. You just keep an eye on your mini-map until more heroes start missing, and then you play a little more cautiously, which is usually for supports to sit in these trees, not to actually fall back. You sit in these trees and wait for more information, and when you see them still bottom, you resume pushing. If you retreat, and then you see them all bottom, you spend another 15 seconds coming back up here, by which point they might then have disappeared again. You have to hide again. So you hide here, and as soon as they reshow, you instantly show out again as well. With that, we will end there, because I think we've already seen enough kind of like major things to work on, or major mistakes that happen for Treant here. And yeah, so we didn't do a recap this one, so we'll recap. So lane, understand what you want from your lane. Aggressive lanes, you go QW on Treant. QWW. And then from there, maybe 1 point in living armor back into W. You play very aggressive. Luna, not the best at that. So I was fine with your build. Q and E. But when you're doing that build, the benefit is that you can kind of leave the carry alone because they have bonus armor and regen. So it's fine for them to be kind of 1v2 as long as it's near their tower. Because they have like your armor, your heal, tower armor, tower heal, and they get like the last hits they can. They get a bunch of solo XP while you're doing like half pull, stacks, full pull, stuff like that, and trying to do stacks over here. And then once they're able to jungle, you come run over here and you take the tower. That's like the ideal QE build, is like why you do that. Because you're not looking to be aggressive. You're looking to like let them sustain in a solo lane. But you went this QE build and then you stayed here a bunch. At that point, I think it's better to go QW and try to get shit done together, even though Luna's not the best, because you're splitting so much XP, that's kind of like what you got to do. So if you're going to do this build, then you don't want to like always be here. So that's the lane. And then kind of connected to that, like you got to know where you want to be as Treant, whether it's protecting this tower, which I would default to, or like split pushing and being aggressive up here, stuff like that. Both of those can be good. And then what else? Recognizing like when your team is happy doing things or not, I guess, to go off this fight that we were just talking about. Like, this is a situation where we don't have to do anything, and so we can be back here. Or understand where you need to be in team fights. So for example, in the same situation, I don't want you out here. If anyone's going to scout, it should be like clockwork. Clockwork is like the least important for like being threatening here, because Viper and Invoker. Viper and Pudge are core, so like they're scary because they have more gold. And you have all the AoE and the heals and everything we were talking about, so you're very scary when they try to dive. Clockwork, battery celt and cogs are like scary, but like, I don't know, compared to you, slightly less so. So if anyone's gonna die, send out Clockwork, but really no one should be. You should all just be like back here. Earlier, you did like a gank over here, which I think was in the wrong direction anyways. I think your team wants to like kind of be up here. But like, again, you were like too close to the front. You want the Pudge, the Clockwork to go forward. So kind of understand like what your role in team fights are, in certain situations are, and positioning accordingly. And the cool thing is you are playing with a party, so you have a bit more like control over this. Whereas in pubs, you know, it's like no one's going, so I guess I gotta go, you know. But you're not like that. You can be like, hey buddy, Clockwork, get in there. I'll heal you, you know. You have more control of that. So those are the 3 main things, and hopefully some other bonus stuff that I've already forgotten I said, but that may have happened. Oh yeah, that itemization stuff, but I won't recap those for now. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. We'll move on into the next one.